Hi, my name is Kevin Wynn. My group is composed of Dalton Craven, Clay Cruz, Sophie Crane, and Mason Joseph. Spotify is a major music streaming platform used all over the world. With such a high engagement every single day within the platform, there's no real way to communicate with one another. Spotify has a follow friends feature that allows you to see what your friends are listening to and also follow your friends' favorite playlists. But besides that, there's no real communication happening within the platform. Thus, we created a single web application that we call DKMS. Our platform has features that allows users to interact with one another by communicating with our feed page, but also share their favorite music and favorite songs. We wanted to create that web application that's very interactive, that's socially focused and visually appealing in a highly interactive space.
Hi, my name is Clay Cruz, and the most common use case for our application would be if you're a Spotify user who wants to be able to share with your friends what your music you're listening to. Currently in Spotify, there is no centralized way to be able to share the music you want to share with your friends. You have the people that you follow, but there's no real way to get it to them besides copying the link, sending it to them directly. And also currently on Spotify, viewing what your friends are listening to is very scattered. Again, they would have to send you a link to their music to be able to share it. Currently, currently in Spotify, also finding new music outside of your taste, uh, outside of your typical taste, can be very difficult. Spotify currently recommends songs to you based on your taste, but and that's as far as it goes. Your artist, your taste. So once you get in a habit of listening, then it's kind of hard to get out of that typical taste. And also, currently in Spotify, it's very hard to find new friends to follow. The only way it really comes up is if someone directly gives you their Spotify, or if a friend of a friend, click through the following list and follow that user. And also, it's currently very difficult to view your own top tracks and top artists. And so, with our application, Dkms, we aim to solve these problems with Spotify. Um, Firstly, one of our goals was to create a central area where you could view music that your friends were sharing to you, where you could also share music to your friends. So, you created a feed page where you could make posts about music, including tracks, artists, playlists, and albums. You could also just post text content on this page. And this would be able to allow you to share it with your friends and see things that your friends are sharing to you. This would address the goal of discovering new music. This way, you could get a broader range from that your friends are listening to, and not just what you're listening to. Further on this, we created a discover page where everyone using the DKMS app, not just your friends, are included on this feed. So you would be seeing music from people, whoever's using the app, not just your friends. So even more further music discovery. Additionally, we added statistics on the music on each track. It shows the danceability, energy, happiness, and loudness of the artist, playlist, album, or track. And I think that is an additional feature that users would enjoy to know more about their music. We also included what dance you could do to the track. And again, this is another feature that would solve the problem of more information users want on their music. And in our app, we cater to every style of users. Someone who wants a private account versus public, they you could still be a DKMS user and see the feed and see everybody's music. But if you set your account to private, no one can see what you're listening to in case you're uncomfortable with that. We also created a way to view your personal top tracks and artists more conveniently than Spotify has it. Spotify creates a wrap at the end of the year and displays your top artists and tracks for the year. And our application is displayed on your profile page. So these are the most common use cases and our goals that we use to solve them.
Hi, my name is Sophie Crane, and I will be doing the first part of our demo for our application DKMS. As you can see, this is the first page that you see after you log into our application. It's the essentially the feed page that shows you your posts as well as your friends' posts. And if I were a real user outside in the outside world trying to use our application, I might want to post about something I'm thinking about, some musical thoughts. So in this case, I've been listening to Tyler Halverson a lot lately, so I'm going to post about him so my friends know about it. Listening, excuse me, to Tyler Halverson a lot lately. I love his song Meek Mill. I'm going to go ahead and post that using the post button, and it'll appear down here at the top of the feed. And I'm looking at my posts, and I realize, I don't really know if his song is actually called Mac Mill or Meek Mill, so I'm going to delete it and fact check myself on that because I'm a little bit embarrassed. But I realized, okay, I'm actually really curious about what that song is, so I can use our search feature, which is over here on the side. And since I only know for sure that it's by Tyler Halverson, I'm going to search Tyler Halverson, the artist's name, and press that search button. And all the albums, artists, tracks, and playlists that are relevant to Tyler Halverson will appear. And I see, okay, it's Tyler Halverson, and these are some of his top tracks. And okay, this is the song that I was talking about, Mac Miller, not Meek Mill. And I still really want my friends to know about it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this share to feed button right here to share to the feed. So add some text to that post. I'm listening to Tyler Halverson. Everyone should check out his song, Mac Miller. And go ahead and use that share button to share to feed. And if I go back to the feed, it shows my post right here. So then I'm a little bit embarrassed that I only have 0 likes. So I'm going to go ahead and like my own post and comment on it to maybe get some other people involved on it. And I can see up in this top right corner here at the notifications button, there's a little dot that just appeared, which shows I now have notifications. So if I head there, I can see that I have commented and liked my own post. If I scroll away, and maybe I didn't know which post this is about. So if I go ahead and click on it, then it'll head it back to the post that I posted and commented and liked on. And then, if I were a user and I posted this, I might want to explore other music like this song. Maybe I'm getting a little bit tired of it. So if I head back to that song by clicking on the name of it, I can look at the artist and see similar artists that are similar to his style of music at the bottom here and discover their music as well. So if I head to maybe Slade Coulter and I want to check him out and see all of his top tracks and recent albums, I can explore those as well through the application. Maybe I want all my friends to tell me if they know about him. Does anyone know anything about this guy? Go ahead and share that to my feed, and if anyone knows anything about him, they can comment. And I can also do this similar thing with songs. So if I clicked on one of his tracks, then I can see similar tracks here at the bottom. And I can explore those as well and find new music through there.
Hi, my name is Mason Joseph, and I'm going to be demoing the playback feature for the Dkms app, as well as how to change themes within the app. So right now I'm logged into the app. I'm on the feed page, which is the page that opens up when you first log in, and I want to play some music. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to the right sidebar. I'm going to click the play button. This opens the playback tab, and we see a play button, skip button, previous button, but there's no music loaded in right now. So we have to go to the web player and ensure that our device is selected, which is Dkms, which is exactly what we want it to be. So I'm going to come back to the Dkms app, and now we have to choose some music to play. And in the feed, there are several artists to choose from. So I'm going to choose Slade Coulter. I'm going to come down here and click the play button. So when I click play, you see that Slade Coulter's top songs start playing. It's his top song, But Me. And in the queue, we'll see that the rest of his top songs are listed in there. Now, if I go back to the playback tab, let's say I don't want to listen to But Me. I want to listen to the next song in the queue. So I'm going to click the skip button. And now Burnout starts playing. Now let's say I don't want to listen to Burnout, and going back to the queue, I don't like any of the other songs in the queue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the recommendations page. And under recommendations, we'll see there are a handful of songs recommended, there are recommended artists, and there are featured playlists. So let's say I want to listen to Nick Jonas. I'm going to click play on Nick Jonas. So now Mean Mary Jane is playing. That's his top song. And under queue, we see the rest of his top songs are listed. And let's say I'm happy with Nick Jonas. The playback is working. It's doing everything I want it to do. But I'm not happy with the theme right now. I want different colors on the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Settings. I click Settings. And under Theme, there's a drop down. And let's go with Retro. So I see Retro. I'm not a fan of Retro. I can choose a different theme. So I'm going to go with Emerald. So I like Emerald. So now I've got the playback working the way I want it to, and I've got the theme that I like. So that's how you configure the playback in our app, and that's also how you change the theme. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dalton Craven, and to close us out, I wanted to talk just a little bit about how the actual application Dkms was coded. So to get started, I want to talk about TypeScript. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript where all valid JavaScript is valid TypeScript, but it adds these additional type checking features. These type checking features end up being instrumental in coding this application because we were able to use the types to track the full path of a piece of data all the way through from where it was created to where it was implemented. Just as a simple example, in this get data function, search query can either be string or undefined. If it is undefined, aka if it's not a string, we don't even run any sort of searching, which means here we know that this must be a string because if it's a string or undefined and this is checking for undefinedness, then this has to be a string. So we're able to then pass it forward into this function, search Spotify, taking in only a string, which then returns a search response, and that search response gets put back here. So this Spotify results is of type search response, and then we go down and we pass that in further into the results, which in and of itself has its own types. So basically, by using TypeScript, we're able to really kind of track this flow. And if we were just writing plain JavaScript, we wouldn't know that results is going to be of type Spotify API search response, and we wouldn't be able to confidently use and extrapolate from these results. Another major feature that we used was the Next.js 13 app router. This app router is kind of a different way of thinking about how to actually handle page navigation, where in the past pages were kind of siloed into their own individual things. Now with the app router, it's more of a nested, there's layout with content, and a content can be either another layout or it can be an individual piece of content. So in the simple example, this would be the overall layout, and then for two different pages, it would have two different sets of content. It really is useful for applications like your own because we can define a fixed layout of the sidebar and of the navigation menu, and those stay there no matter what. So even if the content in the middle changes, having this layout with these two things defined means that these stay there no matter what. The final thing that I wanted to talk about is the actual Spotify API. This API was instrumental in our code base because instead of having to store information about a song or about an artist or about a individual like playlist, we were able to just query Spotify directly and use their library of songs or artists or playlists, which was much higher in quality and in robustness than anything we could have done. So for example, this is just a random album, and we get all of this information back from the Spotify API response that we can then extrapolate from and implement into our own application. Thank you for watching this video. I really enjoyed this project, and I know that my roommates did as well, so I hope that you guys are able to actually give Dkms a try. Thank you so much.